Did you know that the cabin crew in Emirates get to choose the flights that they have and pick their favorite destinations? And no, it's not because of seniority, because you've been in the company since 1985 doing the first flight from Dubai to Karachi. No, it's not because of that. But it's actually on a planned system that might be arguable on its effectiveness. What type of flights can you request? How is the choice of whom to get the flights to be made? And is there a strategy to make the perfect bidding? After having gotten many of my dream destinations and several that heading flights thanks to bidding, I'm gonna cover all the strategy that I've been using. So whether you're a cabin crew or aspiring cabin crew, this video can be for you. Hey, I'm Stefano. I've been working and traveling with Emirates for almost 6 years. Now I'm traveling by myself, still professionally. And there's no doubt that now I'm choosing all the destinations that I'm going to. But back when I was in Emirates, I still had the chance to choose some destinations that I was going to and get paid for that. Emirates flies all over the world, so you have a variety of destinations and countries to choose from that it's pretty unique. You can get to cold places that you feel like on the Arctic, to the complete opposite of choosing places that are super tropical with a beach in front of the resort where you can get massages, or places where you can simply get adventures that you wouldn't get anywhere else. The process to request the flights that you really want to do, it's actually quite simple. From the Emirates Crew portal, the bidding can be done on regions, countries, or also for specific destinations and cities. I'm speaking to you directly as if you are a crew. Hopefully you will become one, or you are already one, and this can bring you some good value already. If you're not that picky and you don't want much competition at all, you actually can bid for layovers in general, so that any kind of layover you might going to get it. On the other hand, if you have specific events that you want to attend to in Dubai, or you have family members coming over to visit you or friends, you might be choosing the turnarounds instead to spend the most amount of time in the city of Dubai. Something that you might want to pair it up with, it's days off, and you can choose it in the following ways. A block of days off that can be a 3, 4, 5 days off in a row, or you can also choose a series of days off that start from a specific date going forward and also ending from a specific date going backwards. This is particularly helpful for periods of time where you have leave, and that can be paired obviously with days off that would allow you to extend your leave. That's something very common to be requested for, but unfortunately rarely given. Surprisingly enough, you can also request a reserve month. If you don't know what a reserve month is, basically you're the jolly of the company where you can be filling in the gaps of people going missing. That sounds very wrong, actually, not in that way. That month you're gonna be placed on can use reserve, which is something quite common to be seen on the roster from time to time. And you know that by 6 p.m. of the day before that can use reserve, you're going to be given a duty. Either it's a flight or a day off or maybe a standby. It can be an airport standby where we spend 4 hours in the lounge in the Emirates headquarters where we can sleep as well and hope that we don't get called for the flight. Then there's the home standby, 8 hours spent at home waiting for an eventual call. The standby is there for the crew to be replacing the ones that won't be making it on the flight. Maybe last minute, or maybe they called sick the day before and you are the one that can be replacing those colleagues of yours. Crew can also bid for the length of the trip that they want to have, and this is especially helpful if someone likes the multi-sectors as much as I did. You can also bid for a specific flight number that allows you to target specific flights that you really want to have. That might be the case for whenever there's the crew that has family members on board or they want to go to that destination that specific date. And this is the exact way on how I got the heading flights. Not many people really do bid for that heading flights because they don't know that there are actually. Researching the flights prior to the bidding is the most important step for this. You want to make sure that you know which are the flights that are that heading so that you can take that specific flight number and put it into the bidding system, which has a flight number completely different from the normal operating trips, as you know. The flights that I bidded for that were that heading were Seoul, which I got two back-to-back dead-heading flight on the way going dead-heading. So I came back to Dubai and left again for the same destination, dead-heading, and a colleague that was on both flights as well. But I bidded for that. She was a local, actually, so that's why she'd be given that flight. And also I bidded with one of my exes a Prague flight that was dead-heading. They gave that flight to both of us that we bidded for that specific flight. That was mind-blowing, but it proves bidding for a specific flight number, it actually gives you more chances to get that flight. The way that you actually research for the heading flights, search by flight number, put the 2 in front of the actual 3 digits of the flight number, and that will give you all the heading flights that are already scheduled. With that information, you look up which destinations are related to those flight numbers, and then you go into the bidding system and you actually choose that specific flight that you want to have. You're not gonna have 100% guarantee that you will get that flight, but if it's a specific destination that perhaps not many people are searching for and bidding for generally, then you have much more chances to get it. With all these choices of options that you can request to the company, how many can you make? Because it's not actually that you can make an infinite amount of requests. You can actually place a maximum of 5 requests. And the way that it's done is in a priority system, so that with every request that you make, you're actually supposed to put a number of priority that goes from 1 to 5. So that the company, looking at them, can know what you actually prefer the most to have compared to what's the least priority for you. And now we reach the point of how does the company decide whom to give the flights to? There's 7 groups that all the cabin crew working in Emirates are assigned to. And these 7 groups alternate in priority each month. So if you're in group number 4 in June, your priority bidding, it's number 6. So you're the second last group to have a priority in the requests that you make. In July, the following month, you know that you're going to be the priority group number 7, which is the last one, called bottom bid. But avoiding to put the biddings and the requests just because it's the lowest priority is one of the biggest mistakes. Because sometimes I got actually the top requests that I was making on the bottom bid instead of the top bid, which is kind of crazy. Shouldn't be like that. That's why I was questioning the effectiveness. But after the bottom bid, you know that your top bid month is coming. So you can be relaxed that at least 1 or 2 you should be getting it, right? That would be ideal. But what happens if there's 2 people making the same exact request and they are also in the same group? What happens then? In that case, it does apply a little bit of seniority there. Yeah, I gotta be rectifying what I said at the beginning, you know. It's not at first, at least. Then if everything else is the same, then seniority plays a role in that. Something to keep in mind is also the language requirements that there are, because there must be at least 1 Arabic speaker on each flight. More than 2 or 3, I don't know if it's going to be considered. They're not going to pack all the Arabic speakers. Also, if you're going to a specific destination that has language requirements, like for example in Italy, having Italian requirements. If you actually speak one of the languages for the country that you're requesting to go to, it might be easier actually for you to get that flight. However, these requests are not requests that you can put at any point of the month whenever you think about it. You have specific dates, generally between the 25th of the month until the 5th of the month after, where you can place your requests for the upcoming month. The bidding window has changed throughout the years quite regularly, so let's keep this range as a fictionary default one. After that specific window, the portal in that specific area shuts down. The first months that I could request the flights, I was like, okay, I know what to get, you know. But after a few months, perhaps having gone to those places already, I was like, okay, what am I left with now? Let's see. And that leaves you with a little bit of procrastination, which is the worst thing. Kind of leaves you with some, you know, bitterness in your mouth, because you could have asked for flights that perhaps you could have gotten, and there you are without it. What can you actually do to prevent that? There's a specific thing that I've done. After those scenarios, those situations, there's the opportunity to make standing bids that remain there month after month. You can obviously make up to 5 requests and keep them there at all times, so that even if you forget to make a request, you have those ones there. But it's a safety net that I would recommend to everyone to do. A good practice to have as well is the one for the planning of the reserve month, because if you're going to reach the 7th priority group soon in the coming months and you haven't had a reserve month in a while, perhaps in a year, then you might want to consider if that month when you have the 7th priority is going to be good for you, or if you want to perhaps request it before because you don't want it in that specific month. It's not actually given for granted the fact that you're going to get it, because I personally didn't have a reserve month for 1.5 years, which was quite blessed, you know. But you never know. If you have a specific event that you want to attend to, having a reserve month is most definitely going to disrupt it. Another thing that I would make sure to do if I was in the lowest priority bidding, make one of my top destinations part of my bidding request anyway. Because you never know, even if you're in the 7th priority, it doesn't mean that you're not going to get any flight. And finally, the best thing that I've done with the bidding system that Emirates created is requesting for deadheading flights. I mean, it's the best thing that you can get, because you get to travel in business class and fly as a passenger, but still being paid for those hours. Actually, you don't get paid the full hours, but you get paid half. But hey, I mean, good enough, right? So if you're a crew, you know what to do for the next roster bidding. I hope you had fun getting these kind of insights of an Emirates cabin crew. You can join the community on sensethelens.com/register just by putting an email, and we can keep on chatting there, and obviously here in the comments as well. Take care, stay blessed, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.